On several occasions and from several different sources, actually multiple sources, it's been suggested to me to do a podcast. Now, I'm very on the fence about doing something like that, excuse me, because I think that there are plenty of podcasts, maybe too many podcasts. And I don't know if I need to add my voice to the ever increasing sea of podcasting out there. However, I do like running my mouth. It was often on my old report cards after the Robert, yes, they did call me Robert. Robert is a very bright boy, but he has a tendency to disturb his neighbors with his incessant chatter. So, yes, I admit it, I am a bit of a chatty Cathy. But going through my father's belongings, and again, I have to keep stating, although eventually I won't have to keep stating, he is still alive, but for a variety of reasons, things had to be cleared out of his apartment and so forth for him to have a more comfortable life there. And I have treated myself to a couple of things. I'm getting his mail, for instance, so that Michelle and I can deal with, paying his bills, etc., etc. Anyway, he's 91 years old. But I have treated myself to a couple of books and so forth from his library. And I think during the early 1960s, my dad was going through. He was never a seeker. I do not come from a family of, or at least I was not brought up by seekers. My dad was a seeker of knowledge, but certainly not any kind of spiritual quest. But one thing I do share with my old man is a vivid dream life, and he used to tell me about some of his, recurring dreams. My father, before I was born, was a merchant seaman, tee-hee seaman, for 20 odd years, and so he would often have dreams about missing his ship. I mean, paging Dr. Freud, that one's pretty obvious. But he had several of these, what I would call cod science books on interpreting dreams. I think he was trying to figure out some stuff. But this one, Interpret Your Dreams by Alan Levy, is of particular fascination. I've been reading it. And this little 60-cent wonder, 60 cents when it was new, World of the Night, or The World of Night, is page for page, sentence for sentence, so rich in bullshit that I'm amazed that he managed to, in 158 scant pages, have so much nonsense that this is one of the most entertaining books I've ever perused. One thing it boasts right on the cover is the 200 most common dreams and what they signify. Well, I don't know about these. The commonality of these dreams. I mean, you open to a random page and bacon. These are just things that happen in dreams. So apparently if you dream of bacon, if you dream of eating bacon or other pork products all by yourself, the fat is truly in the fire. Someone you know will die. If not, your own health will suffer, your worries will multiply, your love life will sicken, and your enemies will flourish. The Orthodox Jews were among the first to comprehend the evils of bacon. Latter-day dream interpreters have denounced bacon vehemently, although a blushing few tolerate it privately with their eggs. Ooh. The best that any reputable dream interpreter, as if that's a thing, will say publicly is this: if you dream you are eating bacon in mixed company, nothing too dreadful will happen to you. So that is just one topic that will come to you in your dreams, that apparently there's just a blanket way to interpret it. But the thing that's great about this book, other than the pomposity of the writing and the fact that dream interpretation is apparently its own little cottage industry. Mr. Levy has a disproportionate amount of dialogue in this book, conversations that he has either had or reconstructed from various historical or anecdotal examples of things. And he is a recurring character, sort of the foil, the naysayer, the skeptic to his dream warrior, is this Professor Josiah Carberry. And he cites him often in this book as being a frequent dinner guest. And when Alan, Mr. Levy here, is championing the prophetic nature of dreams with all of these extremely spurious examples, Carberry poo-poos them all in a very florid language. And so I got curious about this Mr. Carberry, this Professor Carberry. And the great thing about books published, this one was published in 1962. The great thing, oh hush, the great thing about the pre-internet era is people couldn't just go racing off to their computer to fact check things. So like I say, I was curious, who's this Professor Josiah Carberry? Well, I looked him up. Very quickly he came up. So, I mean, my first thought was, oh, there is a Professor Carberry. Interesting. No, not so fast. Cool your jets. On the Brown University website, there's an article called Who is Josiah Carberry? Josiah Stinkney, wink wink, Carberry, 1929 to question mark, born at 1929. That actually makes him younger than my old man. Legendary professor of psychoceramics, the study of cracked pots, oh you kid, since 1929, was born on a bulletin board in University Hall. The first announcement of his existence was a notice which read, pardon me for reading off my screen, this is low-tech telepromptering at its worst. Quote, on Thursday evening at 8:15 in Sales Hall, J.S. Carberry will give a lecture on archaic Greek architectural revetments in connection with Ionian philology. For tickets and further information, etc., blah, blah, blah. Anyway, Carberry was a hoax. So this Mr. Levy, author of my new favorite book, his foil is a made-up person. Perhaps Mr. Levy went to Brown University, and certainly he counted on the vast majority of the readers of this book not knowing that Carberry is just a made-up figure. Anyway, this is a terrific book. I've looked it up online, and actually it's not cheap to get a used copy, but boy, would I recommend it. And perhaps, depending on response to this, maybe I'll do some readings from it, because I really want to share this one. So, I guess that's it for this, I don't know what you'd call this little video, and I hope you enjoyed being introduced to Interpret Your Dreams. And like I say, maybe I'll do some readings. Ciao.